And I look at him and I think, what? Really? He says, Jamie, they have a Papa John's where the pizza comes right out the oven and it's hot and fresh right on your plate. And I sit there and I look at him and I think, what? He says, Jamie, they have a Panda Express with orange chicken. And then I have to interrupt him and I'm like, and crab ragoons? And he says, yes. What? I'm thinking, okay, Dad, you're right. We do have to go to the cafeteria in Building H. But let's plan for this. You see, at the time where we worked, we only had a 30-minute lunch. We had 30 minutes to get from the second floor of Building P, to get down to the basement, crawl through the corridors, get up the steps, and get into H, and then find the cafeteria. So this is probably about a good 7-block distance, just to give you perspective. Okay? So he says, okay, sounds like a good deal. Friday rolls around, and I'm sitting there. He goes, you ready? Lock my keyboard, lock my computer. Let's go, Dan. As we're about to stroll through the halls, I have this sensation. But I ignore it and keep going. We're walking down the hallway. We're going down this escalator. We're heading through the corridors. And then the sensation comes back again. And I'm like, no, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it. So we keep going. We go up the steps. We get into Building H now. We're so close to the cafeteria in Building H. The sensation comes back again. And I'm there thinking, Dan, I'm really excited. I'm so excited I have to go to the restroom. I'm so sorry. Can we spare a few minutes so that I can go? Otherwise, I'm going to go in the middle of me eating, and it's just not going to be enjoyable. He looks at his clock. He's like, okay, Jamie, all right, hurry. So as we're headed still to the cafeteria, I see on my right side there's the door for the women's restroom. So I look through the other door and I go straight in. I look for the first stall. I sit down. And as I'm sitting there, I'm just thinking to myself, I think, why are the stalls pink? I keep thinking again. And then why weren't there any white porcelain urinals on the walls? That's weird. So as I'm sitting there, I hear footsteps. And my eyes open wide, and I look down in the stall underneath. There's red high heels right there. I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, oh my God, what am I doing? How did I get here? I do not want to be labeled some sort of sexual predator. This is not happening. Please tell me this is not happening. My heart is racing super fast. My hands are getting sweaty. I am just thinking, oh my God, what did I do to do this? And so as I'm getting nervous, as I'm thinking, we're all thinking the same thing, he's got to get out of there, right? And so I sit there and everything calms, and I'm like, what would Tom Cruise do in a situation like this? What would Tom Cruise do? So as I sit there, if I were Tom Cruise, I'm looking underneath all the stalls to make sure there's no more high heels in there. I'm creeping open the door, and you can kind of hear the music, right? It's dun, 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 dun. I open the door, and I'm looking around. And I crawl over the floor. I got my back up to the wall. I'm looking to make sure no one's coming out the stalls. No one's at the sinks anymore. I'm making my B-way straight for the door. And as I head out, no one's none the wiser to what I just did. Me and Dan just head straight on to the cafeteria. But I'm not Tom Cruise, obviously. So what Jamie actually ends up doing is, as I sit there, I realize, okay. I kind of get up. I unlatch the door, the pink, pretty door. I look both ways, and I start tippy-toeing towards the door. And as I go, I stop and I think, should I wash my hands? No, don't wash your hands. What are you thinking, Jamie? Come on. Luckily, I have sanitizer in my pocket, so I'm like, you just got to get out of there, Jamie. So as I'm walking out, I'm laughing hysterically. Dan is laughing because I'm laughing, but he has no idea why I'm laughing. We walk on. As I turn around and look back, just as though if I wasn't sure to look at the door. Remember, the other door said the women's restroom. I saw the other door said women's restroom also. I learned how that day that in the building, in the P building, our bathrooms are men and women. In H building, there are women and women and men and men. Suffice it to say, we get to the H cafeteria, and it is like a Vegas plethora of food in there. I am so excited to try everything. We are able to get our food. We sit down, we eat. Then we realize we gotta head back, we gotta hurry. So we head back to our desk, and I get to sit down in just the nick of time. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot my fortune cookie. Right? So as I look at the fortune cookie, it says, you're going to exotic places today.